My name is Tracy Williams. I'm a success coach and results expert, and I'm delighted to be here with you today. I love working with sales teams because sales teams have the opportunity to create their own reality, to create as much income as you want. So here's the thing. Someone doesn't make $50,000 a year because they want to make $50,000 a year. They make $50,000 a year because they don't know how to make $500,000 a year. More and more people are becoming dissatisfied with their circumstance, and yet they don't even realize that they can control their circumstances, that they have created the results that they've gotten in life. And because they are able to create the results that they want in their life, they can create any results that they want in their life. Einstein said it this way: everything is energy. That's all there is to it. Match the frequency of the reality that you want, and you cannot help but to get that reality. It can be no other way. This is not philosophy, Einstein says. This is physics. In The Power of Decision, Raymond Barker tells us that there is one success process, and that every achievement that's ever been achieved or ever will be achieved follows that success process. And that process is: know what you want, decide it shall happen, and then act on that decision. Can it be that simple? I believe that it can. And by the time we're done today, I believe that you will agree. Every achievement that has ever happened and every achievement that ever will has followed this path. Let's take a look at a couple of achievements. We'll take a look at a large achievement and a small achievement. They've both followed the same path. Thomas Edison knew what he wanted, didn't he? He wanted to create the incandescent light bulb. He put a stake in the ground, and he said, I shall make this happen. You can see it in his journal in the Smithsonian. It says, I shall deliver to the world a form of illumination. And then he continues to describe that. And then he went back to his shop, and he started to work with materials. And he had failures, and he continued to experiment. And he delivered to the world. He knew what he wanted. He took action. He knew what he wanted, he made a decision, and he took action. Just the other day, I was working at my desk, and I had a craving for chocolate. And I decided that I would have it. So I wanted the chocolate. I decided that I would have it. Even if I had to go to Trader Joe's to get it, I was going to have that chocolate. So I got up from my desk, I went to the kitchen, I went into the pantry, I rummaged around, and I found some chocolate. It's the same process. I achieved success through the same method. So let's break it down, because it really is that simple. It's not that easy. And there's many more steps that we can break out of the 3 steps. But in the larger scheme of it, there's 3 steps. Let's break it down. Know what you want. The visual that really helps this land for me to know how incredibly essential it is, critical actually, to know what you want. We can't even take the other 2 steps if we don't know what we want. No wind is favorable to a sailor who has no destination. The thing is, we are designing all the time. We are creating all the time. And we're either going to create by default, meaning from what we have, our past is, what our circumstances are, what our history is and our story, or we're going to decide what we want, we're going to make a decision for it, and we're going to create our future. And then what about decision? I think we take decision very lightly. We'll make a decision, maybe I'm going to lose 10 pounds, and then we continue to eat the way that we've eaten. Or we'll say, I'm going to get really fit, and we go to the gym regularly for a while. And then what happens? It peters out a little bit. That's not a decision. Decision has commitment. William Hutchinson Murray, the famous mountain climber, he did a lot of the expeditions to Mount Everest. He said, until one is committed, there will be hesitancy, a chance to draw back, always ineffectiveness. If we want success, we must be committed. Absolutely, we've got to burn the ships. I'm doing this thing, no matter what. And then we have to take action, because the reality is that we can have all the desires in the world. We can make all of the decisions and put the stake in the ground. But if we sit back and don't take any action, the success is not going to come about. The wonderful thing about the wonderful thing about action is that we can take baby steps. Baby steps. We could climb Mount Everest taking baby steps. There's a funny thing that happens. The minute we decide, the minute we know what it is that we want, the universe starts to wake up. And when we make a decision, the universe starts to move around thinking, oh my gosh, something's going to happen here. And then when we take action, the universe starts handing us big fish, big ideas, new opportunities. People, resources come into our field of awareness that we never otherwise would have recognized if we hadn't taken each of these crucial steps. Another funny thing happens. The minute we know what it is that we want, the monkey brain, the chatter in our head starts to wake up, doesn't it? And then when we make a decision for it, that chatter gets a little bit louder, gets a little nervous that something's going to change. And then when we take action, that voice very often starts to scream and really make some racket. That's called a paradigm. It's our old habits, our old belief systems, our comfort zone, and our conditions that don't really want us to make change. That particular talk is a talk for another day. But for today, I'm going to invite you and challenge you this week. Go back into the dream chamber. Come up with something that you want. Maybe it's doubling your sales this year. Maybe it's turning that $50,000 into $500,000. Come up with something that you want. Make a decision that you're doing it. Burn the ships. Put the stake in the ground that you're doing this thing. And then this week, come up with one action that you can take that will absolutely move you in the direction of that dream. Happy dreaming, happy manifesting.